In this video, I don't want to judge unfavorably those fighting towards their career goals. In fact, it's super cool to work hard for the job you love with all your might. I admire that, and I have that tendency myself too. But working at certain levels comes with unwanted side effects on your physical and mental health. Those side effects are something that I have noticed both in myself and in the animation industry community. And at least one part of me believes that there is a more rewarding way to live and work while still keeping high career goals. If you also want to try to avoid these side effects, I hope this talk serves to encourage you to try these other ways to do things. Hello, my name is Mar, and I founded an animation studio in Tokyo, in Japan, which is where I am right now at the time of this recording. Today we will talk about something that I feel is very important, which is health for mind and body, and the anime industry, which is what we mostly talk about in my YouTube channel and in these videos. Okay, so today we're talking about health and the animation industry, mind and body. And I will be talking about what I have in my script, many notes in terms of how is the industry in Japan, what I've seen from other peers and animation studios, as well as the two voices I have in my mind. We'll also talk about things I do to stay healthy and things I wish I did to stay healthy. Now, about today's topic. Okay. The subject of health, I think is very important because it affects us on how we work, how we feel while we're working, and how we can create and so on as artists and as anyone working in the industry, and in this case, entertainment industry. Now, I have not worked in an animation studio in the sense that I have not been in one of the television animation studios or movie animation studios in Japan directly. Basically, you can learn more about the context on how I arrived to Japan in the video of the 8 years in Japan, context on who I am and who am I to say the things I will be saying today. For more specific context, the information I will be sharing today about the industry comes from me living in Japan for more than 9 years now. So me being here and seeing people around me. It comes from veterans in the animation industry. Most of them, I met them when I was studying animation in Japan, in Tokyo, in a vocational school. It comes from my peers, my classmates at the moment. It comes from alumni, like older and younger students who has also been in that school and that are working in the animation industry now. The information also comes from workers for other Japanese studios that work for them digitally, so not living in Japan, as well as other foreigners living in Japan and working for other animation studios. This information also comes from documentaries I've seen in Japan, like in Japanese, regarding not just the animation industry, but also manga industry and voice acting industry, as well as some other people that I met here and there. Usually, I will speak about things that I've been told directly that the other person lived personally, or they have someone close to them who has had this experience. So no more like, oh, I hear about. No, I'm trying to focus on things that actually I know they happen. If I feel confident enough to share this information, it's most likely because I had 2 or more sources explaining a situation just like that. Now, what have I observed in the animation industry in terms of physical health and mental health? Well, I see young people, adults, like young adults, suffering from health conditions that could have arise much later in their life. I'm seeing people with a lot of back pain, like a lot of people with back pain, more than like actually wrist pain and like arthritis and so on. Like I'm seeing, like I feel like people who are especially animators are sort of good at taking care of their wrists and their hands because they know like they rely on them. So they do the stretches, they use like tools and so on. So I know like counterintuitively, they're quite healthy in their hands, but then they're have pain in their back. Myself, I also had pain in the back, but it was related to I think overtraining, doing exercise, and now I'm fine. But that's another story. I'm seeing people with issues in back pain. I'm seeing almost everyone struggling with sleep hours. Lots of night owls like sleeping, like going to sleep very late at night, sleeping few hours, periods with no sleep within some days, lots of sleep issues. And that can, as well as thought and as you may have felt, if you go some days with poor sleep, that affects everything else. Not to mention like just your mood, but like your focus ability, later health in life, and so on. So odd sleep hours, back pain. I see people working on weekends or like just not distinct and just keep working and so on, and that affecting in their relationships. I have seen many people that they just have no time to meet with family and friends, not to mention no time to go after, like a more personal relationship with someone, like looking for like a special other or others. No time for cooking. So a lot of people that they rely on pre-made foods, which are often not the healthiest option in terms of longevity for your body. Now, take into consideration that if uh, don't know much about the Japanese culture on food and so on, buying food pre-made is not necessarily more expensive than making it yourself. Actually, it's more expensive sometimes to make your own food, depending on how you manage that. So lots of just been like prepare pre-made meals and ramens and things like that. I'm seeing people who like they have very beautiful areas and options for leisure around them, nature, and they don't enjoy it because they don't give themselves the time of the moment to go and do them. I'm seeing this is all on people working in the animation industry mostly, but that also applies in other areas or like close areas. Other things that I'm noticing is there's a the way to connect is often okay. So these are various things to unpack, but within the animation industry and actually many others in Japan, there is a tendency to connect with others through complaining about the industry and other things, complain about work, after work, going to an izakaya, which would be basically like a bar. So there's a lot of, like a very, in my opinion, toxic way to connect with others, which is through complaining about your job. Lastly, what I say in this industry, other even if it also applies to others, is the worst thing. The word in Japanese is karoshi, which means death from fatigue. Hope I'm translating that correctly. But basically, I've had this is complex because this is a conversation I had in Japanese some years ago, and I cannot be sure that I understood correctly at the time. But from what I understood, is that it's not rare, or it was not rare, to be calling to like see like, hey, I haven't heard much about this job, I haven't not heard much about this person, and so on. And then there was, well, the company went bankrupt or that person now passed away. I cannot tell if that was from fatigue, but I think that I understand it was the case. So that I heard about that through close, not someone I know, more like someone that the person I was talking with knew. And the person mentioned that it's not a rare occurrence either. Yeah, so basically, there's a lot of health issues impacting the body, especially in this animation industry, animation community. And at the worst cases, it ends with sometimes earlier deaths due to the fatigue of the work. Now, I started this stream with a very dark subject and dark topics, but I want to bring hope with this stream. I want to bring hope with this video because I will I will share some personal things as well, and I just wanna showcase what is the reality I've seen around me through my connections and how I'm living it and how am I dealing with it. Now, I have two voices in my mind, okay? And and these two voices in my mind reflect also the societal pressures I see in others as well. So let's talk about it as in I have Mar voice A and Mar voice B. So Mar A and Mar B. Mar A, it's someone who's like triggered to work as much as I can, right? If I don't work hard enough, I feel guilt. So that's one of my voices pushing me to work more and more and more and more because I want to arrive to like high success, because I want to be super productive, because I want to see my stories making a huge impact. I have a lot of motivations for that. Then there is Mar B with another side of society, which is the Mar that's super healthy in their habits, who will go to bed super early, who will exercise, who will go out with friends, and that cannot work so many hours in a day. Those both Mars exist in my mind, and they also are reflected in various society things that you see. Like there's a lot of advertisement and push to rest, go on a holiday, eat this, chill out, please eat healthy, please exercise, you should look like this, you should look like that. There's a lot of pressure from that side, as well as there's a lot of pressure on work harder, you should read this book and the other book and listen to this podcast and be animating. So every day, every single day, you need to be drawing and you need to learn all these languages and be proficient in all this and take this test and exam. So there's like all these clashing pressure, and they are reflected in two voices in my mind. In the animation industry, Mar B, the healthier, long-term focused Mar, the one who wants holidays and exercise and be with friends, feels like an outcast. Because what I see in the industry is people going to sleep late to finish work, just working very hard, going out with friends only maybe at night to go to a bar from time to time and complain about work, things like that. So I feel like an audited. Marby feels like an audited. These two sides of myself, these two voices that motivate me to work and rest or take care of myself, are motivated in the same way, in the way that I want to be successful in my career and I want to live a good life. And Mar B is also motivated by Mar A, which means that I do exercise, I do take rests, I do say no to some events because I want to be able to work. Because if I just work, I will not be healthy enough to keep working, right? So even the healthiest self, my healthier habits are motivated so I can have the personal life I want and I can also work. So that's interesting. It's not just that Mark is just lazy. And in the contrary, all that is so I can fulfill all areas in my life, including the career one. So that's interesting. Okay, so Mar A is the workaholic, yes. And Mar B is the health focused one, yes. Both pressure by different things, but kind of aim for the same thing, exactly. exactly. They both want happiness and success, both in career and personal life. It's just like they want to achieve it through different ways. And there's never enough time to do things. Like there's never enough healthy foods or enough exercise, enough rest, and enough reading books, and enough working animation and directing and storyboard and sales and marketing. Like there's always this feeling I could do more. And I have these clashing ways on how to achieve this more, right? So today I want to speak especially about MARB, the health motivated one. It's not that A is not healthy, it's just these different ways to go about it, right? And the motivation on MARB to be healthy and the habits that I will share soon is motivated to long live to work, is motivated to live within quality, like not like taking medicines often and in pain, right? So I want to live a happy life because I want friends and family around me and enjoy time with them. Now, I'll divide the next section in two. What I have been doing, and I'm very proud, and I hopefully, if I see this recording 2 years later, I'm still happy that I did all these things. And then I had a section of what I wish I was doing, the things I'm not proud now, but I'm working towards them. While I want to work really hard, I also feel that it's important to take care of our body and our mind in other ways. And I shared how I'm very happy that I have some habits that I think will help me live longer and with more quality, help me appreciate choosing this road because I can keep creating animations and keep fulfilling projects without suffering so much. Like it's a lesser pain to exercise than to be injured and not being able to do some physical movements, like to being limited. I know there's many different ways to live a life, so I want to make it clear I'm not judging anyone. I just want to show my perspective on the matter and how I live the matter, which is with a lot of struggle, even in my own mind, with like these different voices telling me, work more, rest more, or you're resting too much, or you're working too much. And I want to empower people who think that they can be in the industry and do some steps to take care of themselves better. I want to encourage them to try because when I'm not doing these habits, these steps that take care of my body and my mind, I suffer so much and I still do the work. That's the thing. I still do the work that I'm commissioned to do, but I'm just really not happy. I'm feeling sick in my body. I'm feeling depressed and much more anxious. And I don't want to live like that. And if you don't want to live like that either, and you would consider other things, you could consider doing things different. I don't want you to feel ashamed to say no to going out for a drink. I don't want you to feel ashamed to say no because you want to work out or because you want to eat different. It's crazy because this video is speaking to different parts of my mind. In one side, it's making me feel proud that I shared about this subject so I don't feel like an outcast as much. I'm like, okay, no, I choose to do these habits and work in this industry and keep going this way. And I'm not ashamed of these other habits that I know many people in the industry do. And they're, in some cases, also like glorified, if not talking good about them. They're so like working is something that's expected. And there's this belief that is if you're not working so many hours, you will not make it. I'd like to challenge that. And the other side, that I'm also scared that I will be judged, that if I don't make it in whatever terms, my own terms or terms from other people, if I don't make it, I'll be like, you rested too much. You shouldn't have been, you should have worked harder. You should have been reading more about this and learning the language better and going to all these events. That's why you didn't make it. My mind is telling me that. Like, even if I'm scared of putting this video out, being that the voice that feels proud to take these healthy habits is the one I should listen to. No one knows if whether I make it or not, it will be thanks to or in spite of those habits. The editor will have a hard time like summarizing this. I really want to think that today is very valuable to you, because I wish people were sharing this. I really wish like that I could see other people sharing about this. So because I wish other people were sharing about this, I'm doing it myself. I am Mar. I'm the founder of animation studio in Japan, in Tokyo. And I'm happy you've been here. I wish you the best for your mental and physical health. I don't want to discourage you for entering the animation industry at all. And if you like this video, I have a video where I talk about tips on how to manage side projects. And it talks about mental and physical health, but it also talks about like management, like time management, calendar management, task management, and many other things. Or you can just join the Discord server. So you are with people in a community with people that think similar to how I think. A community that's welcome to venting, as well as sharing our wins and what we're achieving. A community where there's a space, a chat for chill conversations and things more light, as well as a room to talk about things that are more deep. So if you like that, join our Discord server. It's for free. Feel free to ask questions or send feedback in the comments about this topic. You can also send like request topics you want us to talk about, and who knows, maybe we'll do that. So just put that in the comments. That's all for today. Thank you very much for being here. I don't know if I enjoyed talking about what I talked about today, but I do feel lighter that I put out that topic. So that's for something. That should count. Goodbye. Have a lovely day or evening or night or time zone.